Hey guys, here we have the latest soundbar from Creative. It is Sound Blaster Katana SE. It is a soundbar that aims to deliver high quality audio in a fairly compact form factor. And while it does succeed on several factors, it's not without its considerations. Let's check it out. This is actually already a fourth product in the Sound Blaster Katana family. And if we were to summarize the evolution of it, it's clear that each model has its own strengths and addresses different user needs. The Katana V2 added a more premium feel and more connectivity. Meanwhile, the V2X, while being somewhat more compact and budget-friendly, maintained a performance level quite similar to its predecessors. And now the SE takes a divergent approach in its design by transitioning from a soundbar and separate subwoofer combo to a more unified larger unit, effectively combining both functions. We have actually done a full in-depth review on the V2. You can find the link for that video in the description below. So I thought it would be interesting to see how these two fare against each other. Let's start with the physical differences. The SE model is noticeably larger, measuring approximately 15mm wider, 14mm deeper and 16mm taller than the V2. It sports a comparable mesh finish on the front and top of the speakers, although the rest of the top panel features a matte grey aluminium, contrast to the V2's black finish. Turning to the back, we see similar setup between the two models. You'll find HDMI port, USB Type-C input and USB Type-A output, which can be conveniently utilized for a Creative wireless headphone dongle. Other connections include auxiliary and optical ports and requisite power barrel plug. The sole missing component is the sub connector. Similar to the V2, the bottom of the SE model is fitted with RGB lighting. Lastly, on the front there is auxiliary out, a screen and a double microphone setup for added functionality. They both come equipped with identical remotes, USB cables, optical cables and power cables along with the mounting brackets. Overall, it appears that Creative adopted their philosophy: if it isn't broken, don't fix it, ensuring that they maintain the components that worked well in previous versions. Which brings us well to the main difference, the lack of sub. What Creative did here is really redesign the device and went with a new 4-driver setup. For the tweeters, they're using two 54mm drivers, and for the mid-range, they're using two massive 109mm drivers. The base of the soundbar has a cool feature. It uses something called quad passive radiators. This is a special design in speakers that helps boost the bass sound. Unlike the main speakers that are powered by electrical signals, these passive radiators aren't. They respond to changes in air pressure inside the speaker box instead. Here's how it works in simple terms. When the main speaker moves forward, it pushes the air out and makes the passive radiator move backward. When the main speaker moves backward, it pulls the air in and makes the passive radiator move forward. This back and forth movement of the passive radiator produces sound waves which enhance the bass sound. It's actually a clever way to produce better sounding bass without needing extra speakers or using too much space, which can help with keeping the costs down. By the way, if you're enjoying the video, please consider subscribing for more tech videos like this. When it comes to comparing the sound quality, both models certainly hold their own, but there are some noticeable differences. First one being the lack of subwoofer on SE model. To be honest, I was fairly skeptical about it, thinking that there is no way that a soundbar on its own could compete with the V2 system that has a separate woofer. That being said, there's a significant bass on the SE. In fact, in some ways there's more bass because now that the whole sound is coming from top of the desk rather than split from two locations. The bass produced by the soundbar has a distinct character. It tends to sound more hollow, which can impact the clarity of the sound. Also, due to its close placement to the listener, the bass seems to be louder even at lower volumes. Because the soundbar is situated on the desk, it can cause the desk to vibrate at higher volumes. Essentially, the sound coming from the SE on the desk is equivalent to the combined output of the V2 on the desk and its subwoofer. Comparatively, the V2 delivers sound that is slightly sharper and its bass adds more of a subtle rumbling backdrop. This is something that I personally appreciate, especially while watching movies. There is an upside for the SE though. If you like to have considerable amount of bass but have family members or neighbors next door, again, due to it being on top of the desk, you will never have to blast it. Thus, it will not resonate as far as a standalone sub does. Have a listen to the comparisons. Do bear in mind that this is only a relative comparison, as there are many variables that could affect how you would hear it, which include our microphone, YouTube encoding, and your speakers.
Hey, I got a confession. Been losing all momentum. Just because it's easy, but that don't make it better. I wanna dig my hands deep down in the dirt. Take a walk along the street if I'm feeling dessert. All of this convenience just doesn't work. along the street if I'm feeling dessert. All of this convenience just doesn't work for me. I wanna play with fire, let me get hurt. Can we take it back to 95? Before we had this drama in our lives, just staring at the screen every day and night. I miss the rush of living in real life. Go get your DeLorean.
While testing, we also found that both units have a different volume control. The SE version has a more granular control, which I personally prefer. The reason behind this is actually because it is more quiet. If you were to turn it up to the max, the difference between the two is about 15 dBA, which is considerable. But when sitting right in front of it, either one is too loud at that volume. Lastly, let's talk about money. The Katana V2 bears a heavier price tag than the SE. Considering the arguably nicer looking soundbar and subwoofer, the cost escalation seems justified. But in the end, it's all about what you value more and your budget. To sum it all up, the Katana SE main strength lies in delivering respectable performance. At the same time, it can create considerable amount of bass without causing noise disturbances. And being a single unit, it saves space and is ideal for those who have space constraints or prefer less complicated setup. The Katana V2 on the other hand is pricier, but its sound is slightly sharper and its bass adds to the subtle rumbling backdrop that some may prefer. In the end, the decision between the two comes down to personal preferences and budget. If you prefer an immersive bass experience, a simpler setup, and are budget conscious, the SE might be a better fit for you. However, if you're willing to spend a bit more money for a more nuanced sound experience, then V2 might be a better choice. Check out the links in the description box for more information on any of the items covered in the video. We hope you found this useful. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. We'll see you in the next one.